Somewhat worrying, I keep getting asked, where would I place Project Motor Racing compared to the other simulators or popular simulators that are on the market? So to answer that question as quickly as possible and to not waste anybody's time, here we have all the main simulators that are popular, and we have 4 categories: physics, force feedback, fun and training. And we're going to arrange the sims in order of what I think does what the best. Physics being the raw physics simulation, realism and driving. Force feedback being which tells you the most in terms of what's going on and which feels the nicest on a steering wheel. Fun just being the most enjoyable, entirely subjective, could be a mixture of anything. And training would be the sim that I would recommend to someone that's looking to actually literally use the sim to train. So where do we place stuff? We're going to blitz through this as quickly as possible. And what do we start with? Race Room. Let's put Race Room up here. Race Room's really good on the physics. Better than iRacing. Automobilista 2, worse than iRacing. Evo, let's say it's version 0.3. Evo 0.4, I'd probably put quite high on the physics, but let's say it's 0.3, put it somewhere around there. Rennsport is definitely down here, though actually I find Rennsport less annoying than Automobilista 2, and we're talking about raw physics here, so okay, we're going to just go around here. Let's go. This is not going to be perfect. Wreckfest 2, physics are actually surprisingly good, but I think I'm going to have to say, it's not trying to be a pure simulator, though it actually does its throttle, has a proper throttle modelling, so Niels would put it up here. Le Mans Ultimate, this is definitely up here. I should put this above that. Gran Turismo, sort of below AMS2, I'd say, ish. Do you know what? We're going to have to make these icons smaller so we don't have to scroll so much. Project Cars 2 is very close to Automobilista 2. They're basically the same sort of physics. Just Automobilista 2's very polished compared to Project Cars 2. So Automobilista 2 definitely goes above Project Cars 2 in my mind. Project Motor Racing, we're going to slot that in when we've done these. Assetto Corsa Competizione, I think it's got pretty good physics. I absolutely hate how it drives. I mean, I would say it's got better. It's better than Project Cars 2. In some ways, it's better than Automobilista 2. In many ways, it's better than Automobilista 2. But I find it an absolute chore to drive, and you can distill things into pure robotic driving. But I would say it's better. Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say it's in many ways it's actually better than AMS2. It depends how you break these things down. It's not necessarily totally clear cut, but and then you're probably gonna have to say that it's better than Rennsport. Oh no, BeamNG Drive. Can't believe ACC's moving up. We've got to be fair though. BeamNG Drive is really nice, but its tyre model's a little bit wonky donk, which they are working on. But aspects of BeamNG are really good. But I would say probably worse in an absolute sense. Different cars. If you're doing off-road driving, BeamNG's up the top and crashing, BeamNG's at the top. But for general, for track racing, it's probably worse than AMS2. For general track racing, well, yeah, I'd definitely say it's worse than AMS2. AC, where does AC go? It's got to go at the top, hasn't it? No question. AC1 is absolutely has the best physics. No question. You could debate it. You could debate it with aspects of Le Mans Ultimate that are better than Assetto Corsa. But on balance, AC's the king. Fact. Can't argue. It's on the list. It's at the top. Now, where does Project Motor Racing fit into this? That's the real question on the physics. The thing is, so okay, I'm actually... The problem with iRacing, under the limit, it has really good physics, but as soon as you get onto the tyres, the physics are totally broken. So iRacing is both very realistic, like really up here, under the limit, but in terms of controllable slip and slip behaviour, it's like, it's worse than AMS2. It's worse than ACC. So, you know, it depends which part of it you're considering. If you, like, for example, you don't really see much drifting in iRacing, do you? It is possible with some cars, in that, you know, you've got like the Audi Quattro and the dirt stuff can be okay for sliding around and stuff, but iRacing's weird because it's kind of just a bit jank. It's definitely up there. There's many aspects to it that are very good, but then it's a bit jank. Now, Project Motor Racing, I actually think it's better than AMS2 in its handling. I actually think I prefer, maybe not in totality, there's bugs in Project Motor Racing, but I think it's better. I think it generally handles better than Race Room. Like, it feels more, the handling of the vehicles sort of seems to have more depth to it. You can play with the vehicles a bit more. It's a little bit less sort of placid than Race Room. Suspension and stuff seems a bit better. Diff behaviour, braking. So I put it above Race Room, but Race Room's very solid and feels absolutely fantastic. So it's quite difficult because Race Room is very good. I hate how ACC ultimately drives. At the end of the day, ACC turns into completely robotic driving. So I'm going to have to put ACC below Race Room, controversially. The car systems and stuff, though people complain about the ABS and how that works, the car systems and things are actually quite good in ACC, and the actual quality of the game and the general quality of it is really, really good. So it's it's hard to position. But I think we're going to go with something like this for the most part. iRacing is, in many ways, but the problem with iRacing is you can't drive the cars naturally at the limit for the most part. You have to drive in a hyper-specific way, rolling the cars to the limit. So in that sense, it's actually worse than ACC and worse than Race Room and worse than Red Sport. And then, so it's actually, iRacing is actually down here somewhere, really, in many ways. But if you're just going to take the best cars in iRacing and somewhat ignore the limit behaviour, I'm moving it up there. So that's just the raw physics, basically being as charitable as possible with the vehicles. I actually, in some ways, think Wreckfest 2 is better than Gran Turismo. I mean, to be fair, Gran Turismo, this is that old logo. Gran Turismo 7, in some ways, is better than Project Cars 2 in terms of end result consistency and polish. But then some cars in Project Cars 2 are really quite great and nimble. And I mean, Evo's going to actually have to go. Evo's going to have to go above this. It's more polished. And BeamNG is going to have to go below Evo. But for off-road, BeamNG is at the top. Evo 0.4, guys, though. We played it at Sim Racing Expo, and it might actually be. I don't know if it'll be AC. We'll have to update this, but Evo 0.4 is bloody good. Seemed really good. I think AC will still be king. So that's okay. This is not perfect. We're not locking this down. As a cursory layout here, this is the order I'm going with for physics. I think that's reasonable, and that does put you Project Motor Racing in the top 5 or 6. Some of this, a lot of the stuff in Project Motor Racing is a mess. Frame rate, UI, you have to fiddle with the force feedback. So, we're being as charitable as possible with these games. But that is kind of where I put it in the lay of the land. Not perfect. Force feedback, though, well, this is easy. AC is the best for force feedback. iRacing with Marvin's force feedback app. Really, really good force feedback. Project Motor Racing has really good force feedback when you set it up correctly. Race Room's force feedback is pretty good. Hang on, I'm noticing a pattern here. No, ACC is terrible force feedback. LMU, absolutely awful force feedback. Evo is pretty bad. It might even be worse than that. Rennsport is actually passable force feedback. BeamNG actually has really good force feedback. You can really adjust it as well with BeamNG, so that's really good. Project Cars 2 actually has good force feedback, but it's better than that. Yeah, so it's well, we should have really done this in order. Project Cars 2 and then AMS 2 is even better than Project Cars 2. Basically the same engine and stuff, but AMS 2 has been polished a lot more and out of the box. Gran Turismo is really bad force feedback, actually, really bad. Worse, no, it is worse than ACC. Especially the slick tires in Gran Turismo. I don't know how it gets away with it. Wreckfest 2, actually passable. Better than ever, yeah. Right, we're going with that for the force feedback. So, iRacing's out of the box. We're being as charitable as possible here, guys. iRacing out of the box force feedback is not very good unless you've got like a AccuForce Simucube wheel with telemetry or something. But with Marvin's force feedback app, it actually ends up very high. The force feedback's fantastic. Just the tire model's terrible. We've kind of missed rFactor 2 here, but let's consider LMU somewhat rFactor 2. But rFactor 2 actually has much better force feedback than LMU. But this is raw detail. There you go. Right. Not too bad. I mean, I have to say, iRace is doing very well here. Fun. Well, Assetto Corsa. Look, okay. I really love Assetto Corsa. It's so versatile. It's hard to like, you know, you can't really AC overall, I think in terms of time and enjoyment and variability is probably at the top. But I have to be honest, Wreckfest 2 makes me cry with laughter. So I've almost peed myself playing Wreckfest 2, and AC is not a cheap. Well, no, when we launched a Ferrari into the River Thames, it was pretty funny. But for the most part, Wreckfest 2 is pretty damn fun. Automobilista 2, actually, I have to say, really fun, especially for hosted lobbies. But then iRacing and its voice chat is damn hilarious, and I've got a lot of time in iRacing. And then BeamNG's bloody good. So BeamNG is very high on the fun factor. I'm going to have to put BeamNG here. Depends what type of fun you want, though, doesn't it, really? Like how much you hate yourself. It really depends how much you hate yourself. Rennsport's actually really quite fun as well. You're doing a jump-in race. It's a little bit dull, though, Rennsport. They need more content in it, but it can be quite fun. But then Race Room's definitely more fun than Rennsport. Actually, not hilarious fun, but the online jump-in racing and that consideration with Race Room is really good. Evo is definitely at the bottom of the fun pile at the moment. LMU is okay. ACC's, no, that's at the bottom. Gran Turismo, though, this is actually, in terms of stuff to do, I'm going to have to put LMU above Rennsport, actually. And then Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo is a good polished game. So Gran Turismo on the fun scale, oh, it's moving up here. And there's funny stuff in Gran Turismo. It's a little bit of a chore. That the older Gran Turismos, I would actually put really far up here. But GT Sport and GT7, I enjoy doing the hot lap stuff. But it's not that hot. It's a bit dry and dull. You know, I think if you're on games console, maybe it's okay. You've not got too much other stuff. We should have put Forza on here. I wouldn't really say Forza Horizon is a sim, but that is up here in fun. The fun factor. Forza Horizon is in the top 5. I absolutely, not the last one, but the one before, absolutely loved. Have I missed something? I feel like we've deleted a game by accident. But Project Motor Racing, where does it fit into the fun factor? At the moment, Project Motor Racing has potential. The problem is, at the moment, it's too buggy and the frame rate stuff's bad. So it's got to go below. I mean, LMU's more polished as well, so LMU's more fun to interact with. So, and GT, so I've got to put on the fun factor, potentially, with the jumping online racing and stuff, potentially it'll be good, but right now, it's pretty low on the fun factor. You're going to feel like a bloody beta tester. So I think we'll go with that for the fun factor. It's mostly right. It's not perfect. We're kind of being a bit charitable in some cases. I like ACC is definitely not fun. It just makes me sad. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, training, if you want to drive into people, Wreckfest 2's got good netcode. For training, AC, there you go. It is like the physics and the force feedback work great, and then you can mod whatever you want, or you can go to so many tracks. If you wanted to train, part of it is having a great physics and force feedback, so it's natural, but also having the content there so that you can actually train with the track that you want. Even when it's a crap quality track, that can still add training value. So purely by having tracks, you're great. Like, so in the past, I wanted to go around a go-kart track, or I wanted to check Blyton Park out, and it was only for R Factor 1, so it's like, well, you might as well get that, even if the physics aren't the best. R Factor 1 has okay physics. But yeah, with AC, you can find any track, and you can find any car, and you can adjust the cars very quickly. AMS1 is very good for that as well. So we should have put AMS1 on here. Sorry, AMS1, but I guess it's pretty dead. Only Niels is playing that, and Niels Hausenfeld, go on his channel. But AMS1 is really great for training and stuff as well. Again, because of the modding, but also it's very solid physics. iRacing is really good as a training tool, specifically to teach you how to underdrive vehicles and to never try and balance on the limit. But for racecraft, like basic fundamentals, and online competition, being calm, laser scan tracks, you're going to have to put iRacing up here, I'm afraid. You can't get away from that. What else are we going with here? What do we have? We have to be honest, I would just say that, like, just for training, I would say use AC and iRacing. Our LMU could be quite good as well, actually, again for the same reasons, and Race Room. If you're considering the online ranking part, I wouldn't bother with the other simulators for a direct training thing specifically. To be honest, if it was me and I'm going in a real car, it would be Assetto Corsa, and for literal training, it would just be an Assetto Corsa. I just wouldn't trust the other simulators to be able to be made to feel close, or to be able to adjust tracks to make things close. You know, I just wouldn't trust them. But not that AC's perfect, but I think the reality is, though, you can train with, it depends what you're training for as well, but you could actually use a lot of the sims for different types of training, like if you're doing maybe a bit of off-road type stuff, or to understand car setups, how off-road vehicles work. So BeamNG could be really good for that scenario. I say online competition, iRacing, LMU, Race Room. iRacing is very good for developing brake and pedal skills and being very smooth. Gran Turismo, if that's all you've got, and you can learn tracks in Gran Turismo still, so that's great. Some of the tracks are really good quality. You can use all of them for training, but I basically just Assetto Corsa. So that is it really, guys. This is where we position stuff right now. In 18 minutes, the clear winner is the original Assetto Corsa and Wreckfest 2. I love Wreckfest 2. It's early access. It's so basic, but I bloody love it, guys. I'm peeing myself, as I say, with laughter playing this. It's like Ninja the Protector by Godfrey Ho. Google Champion of the Ninjas, Golden Ninja Warrior, Ninja the Protector. They were all filmed the same. I would just Google it and read up about it. It'll blow your mind. But that is it. That's it so far. Do you agree with these? With this layout here? AC the clear winner. Project Motor Racing could be a lot higher. iRacing's doing very well. Value for money it's not. But I've surprised myself here. I've surprised that ACC's managed to sneak up in here as well. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgraceful. We will update this as games are updated, but that is my ordering so far. The clear winners: Assetto Corsa, Wreckfest 2. Have to concede it to iRacing, and LMU. You know, it's pretty good. Right, there you go. Hopefully that helped you organise the games in your head from where you think they might fit. You might disagree, you might agree, who knows? But until the next one, thanks for watching, happy tea drinking, take care, and goodbye.